Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Noah Unleashed. If you're new here, I'm Melball Collins. I like watching Japanese wrestling, and this is Noah Unleashed, a weekly news and review show where I talk about Japanese professional wrestling company Pro Wrestling Noah. So, welcome back to the glorious, glorious chaos. That is me, Melball Collins. I've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about the final show of the Monday Magic series, which featured a surprise GHC National Championship match. Also had a really, really fun story match that featured Kenta and Taniguchi. And we also had an incredible international main event that we have to get into. But before we do, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below anything you saw on the Noah show, anything you have issues with on here, anything you have issues with OLE. Let us know. Comments down below. So without further ado, let's get into it. Match number one, opening match. I was super excited about this when I saw the announcement pop up. It was for the GHC National Championship, which featured the champion Galeno taking on Alpha Wolf, the two big boy luchas of Pro Wrestling Noah. Galeno had some really, really fun, his regular fun gear, the red and silver and gold accenting, very all rebellion, very cool. Alpha Wolf also has the most, I think, unique gear that I see in Pro Wrestling Noah, with the wolf head and the cool little battle bottoms, we'll call them, that he wears coming in. Looks really, really cool. So, sportsmanship start for these guys. A nice little handshake, nice little hug. Obviously, a lot of history with each other. Alpha Wolf struggling to put the big man down. Not something that Alpha Wolf typically struggles with, hitting the ropes a few times, trading shoulder blocks. But Galeno hitting the ropes and hitting a big body splash for two. On the outside, Galeno smashes Alpha Wolf into the chairs before introducing his face to the corner post. Very, very loud bang on that one before coming back into the ring. Alpha Wolf hitting lariats and a headbutt in the corner with a howl, but Galeno comes out with a very forceful shotgun drop kick to put Alpha Wolf down. Galeno also doing his neck snap taunts while he's taking kicks in the corner from Alpha Wolf, and then after he's getting booted in the face, pop up drop and kick to the face to Alpha Wolf, and a Viva Mexico cheer from the crowd. Alpha Wolf hitting his signature face to the buckle and then kicking the buckle. I like that. I really like that move. I know I've seen it on the ropes before, when someone's stepping in the ropes, you hit the ropes and hit their junk. But this is fun. I like this, and it's a dick move without being a dick move. Like, I feel it doesn't make Alpha Wolf a heel by doing it, but it's definitely something I would expect here to see out of heels. And then he also follows it up with a trip and a moonsault to Galeno. There's a wolf howl and tope con hilo through the ropes to Galeno on the outside, and takes him about 4 rows into the back there. Fun part of the match, big chops back and forth, followed by some trade-off strikes. And then Alpha Wolf does this trap bite, as he does, nom nom, hits a headbutt and then a huge brain buster. But Galeno pops right back up, hits him with a Snapdragon suplex, but Alpha Wolf pops up from there and hits him with a lariat, and both men are down. There's a pop-up, don't know what I was trying to say there, pop-up power bomb, and that folding kamagoye that Alpha Wolf feeds 4-2 to Galeno. Galeno with a big lariat and an inverted suplex slam for 2 on Alpha Wolf. These guys were just having to power through each other, because they were just... Alpha Wolf, I think, was out of his element, because he's definitely, I think, is used to being the bigger, meatier guy in the match. In this one, he was definitely dwarfed by the champion Galeno. So going into the finish here, Galeno picks up Alpha Wolf, hits a wicked Falcon Arrow for that big win, and then afterwards helping Alpha Wolf up out of the corner, sharing a nice little handshake and hug moment in the middle of the ring. Really, really amazing match. Great show of the lucha style here. Great show for the champion. We hadn't seen him for a bit. He's kind of been off touring, and we've been seeing him tagging with his brother, who we miss dearly, or at least I do. But yeah, great opening match. Nice little surprise. I didn't see any of the matches announced before this, so it was a nice little kill surprise moment for us to start off this final episode. Um, so going on to match number two. Number two was a tag team match featured Manbu Soya and Junta Miyawaki taking on Daiki Odashima and Tetsuya Endo. This was a really fun match. Let's get into it. I heard the commentary. I only have Japanese commentary at this time, but I heard the commentary say Sunshine Passion is the team of Sunshine Passion, and that gave me a giggle. And I was like, yep, that's what they are. That's the perfect name for them. So Junta and Endo starting out, and Endo doing a Jonas to Manabu Soya in the corner, but Manabu no-sells him, goes, no, you don't have passion. I am passion. And kind of snakes around to the other side of the corner. So getting into the match, Endo blocks an arm drag by Miyawaki, very similar to how Super Crazy did on the last episode there. And Miyawaki trying really, really hard to get him over, but Endo just saying nay, nay, and just kind of bringing him back up. But then Miyawaki hits the ropes and hits him with a big head scissors and a drop kick, sending Endo to the outside, and then following it up with his big body splash press to the outside on Endo. So Soya in now with a test of strength with Endo. These two know each other with their kind of history with the GHC National Championship. So yeah, test of strength, and finally a Jonas from Manbu Soya, but Endo does push Soya to the ground in the test of strength, stands on his feet, and then stomps him. Just mean. But fun little spot. It's not something I see very often, and made the crowd actually cheer for Endo a little bit more, which was really interesting. So Odashima is in pulling some amateur wrestling skills out on Manabu Soya, sorry, and is able to actually take control for a fair amount of time for the big guy, which is definitely interesting to see because you can tell Soya knows what he's doing. He's trying to get a hold of Odashima. Odashima is just so small and so quick. He was able to just sneak out of there before he could fully put a lock on him. Lots of headlock exchanges, lots of constant movement. Really impressive sequence to see from both of these guys, and watching the fight trying to get the upper hand on either one was really fun. So Soya running into the corner and with a clothesline and a bulldog on Odashima, but Odashima eventually fighting back and doing his twisting drop kick as he tries to escape. Endo leaping into the corner, taking out Miyawaki, and then hitting Soya with a springboard forearm smash. That was pretty cool. Handspring kick followed by the standing backflip. Backflip senton by Endo for 2 on Soya. So Miyawaki in and picking up speed, hitting the ropes, and then hitting a back elbow on Endo. There's a power bomb backbreaker though by by Endo on Miyawaki before Endo tags in Odashima, and Odashima won't let him leave. He keeps telling him to stay in and help. So they end up tag teaming Miyawaki for a little bit, hitting him with strikes, then working together to hit this big leapfrog leg drop on Miyawaki, and then performing stereo backflips, much to the delight of the crowd and me, because that was pretty cool, especially because I really do not have the ability to do anything like that. Odashima with not one, not even two, but 3 really awesome, great looking gut wrench suplexes on Miyawaki, but only gets a 2 out of there. Odashima then pulling out the pins, trying to figure out what he's got to do to pin Miyawaki. Miyawaki, however, is able to escape everything and eventually hits a rebound German off of the ropes on Odashima. So, Odashima Miyawaki goes for a German suplex hold for 2, but Miyawaki is unable to get the win there as Odashima gets the breakout from Endo. Well, we're going to go into the finish here. Miyawaki again pulls in the arms of Odashima for that German hold. Straight jacket, German suplex hold for the win. That was a really fun match. I really am enjoying the story that they're telling with Odashima right now, where he is just so fire and the crowd is so on him, and he's just struggling to pick up those individual and tag wins, but he's doing so well in ring that you can't not watch him. He's very much a crowd favorite there already. I look forward to seeing him getting some more opportunities. So moving on from here, we got an announcement for Wrestle Magic, again, about all the companies that are going to be involved. So in case you don't know, Wrestle Universe is happening June 30th and is going to feature 4 major companies in Japan. Includes Noah, obviously, DDT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Dragon's Gate. I'm very curious to see who all they bring in, what they all do, and what matches they set up. But we do already look like we have one set up already, and we'll get to that a little bit later. So we're going to move on to match number 3, which was a singles match between Eita and MAZADA. Now, I had not heard of MAZADA, but now I want to. This match was really fun and really funny, so let's get into it. So Eita, coming in and hamming it up with the cameras a little bit, kind of like zoom in, look at me, look at me. It was really amusing. I like the new attitude that Eita is kind of rocking right now. So I knew this was going to be a match from one simple thing, and that was the ref checking, the pads and knee pads and everything as they do before the match, and MAZADA grabbing the head of the ref and just you head to the groin, where that's going. It wasn't so like dramatic, but it was subtle enough where I was like, this is gonna be funny. This is gonna be a really just goofy, hamming it up match. And it was, with some really, really intricate, great wrestling in it. So let's talk about it. MAZADA over exaggerating on the ropes when Eita has him in an arm wrench, trying to get him to let go, and he's sitting there going, "Akakaka, akakaka, akakaka," still holding the arm there after Eita has already released it, and kind of giving a smirk to the crowd. Again, just knew this was going to be a funny, hammy match. At one point, MAZADA gets upset because the crowd is cheering for Eita, and he ends up leaving until the crowd starts cheering for him again, and then he gets back into the ring to meet up with Eita. So running into the corner, Eita gets popped up, and MAZADA catches him in the groin with a pumping bicep, I'm going to call. Pumping nads. I don't know what to call that. But yeah, meanwhile, they notice in the front row that a little one, not so engaged in this one. She's falling asleep, and MAZADA was taking a little offense to it, checking on her actually throughout the match to be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Wake up. I'm in the ring." And it was adorable. MAZADA then unwraps some of his wrist tape and uses it to choke Eita before also whipping him. Very, very mindful, not very demure. Eita hitting his PK double stomp combo on MAZADA. That was a fun little comeback for Eita, and he needed it at this point. He was kind of getting his ish wrecked. Eita catching the leg and feeding MAZADA a jumping knee kick in the corner, followed by a face buster for 2. Big atomic drop, though, an inside-out lariat by MAZADA for 2 on Eita. MAZADA, this is another funny part. MAZADA grabs the ref, and he's just got him by the collar, and he's yelling at him, throwing that leg back, trying to kick Eita in the groin. Luckily, Eita, he's like, I know, I would do this. So he kind of sidestepped him, stayed out of the way. MAZADA got frustrated, released the ref, and did a jumping high kick in the corner, followed by a facebuster for 2 on Eita. Atomic drop and an inside-out lariat again from MAZADA. MAZADA trying to... I'm saying this again. I've already said that part. Doubled up on my notes, you guys. There we go. Okay, so Eita going for a high kick, but is caught by MAZADA, who just says, no, and just gingerly puts the foot back down before continuing their little strike off. The finish. Let's talk about the finish. I don't like the only word that I can use to describe the finish is balls. Just balls. Everybody getting balls. Lots of ball shots. So, Eita backchops MAZADA, who falls down, takes the bump, but upon bumping, shoots his foot up and catches Eita in the groin. Now, Eita is reacting and bent over because of this and takes the opportunity to missile his head downward into MAZADA's balls. To which then both men are cupping their balls, and Eita is able to roll up MAZADA with an inside cradle for the win. This was a really funny match. I actually really enjoyed this a lot more than I expected to after some of the goofiness started. Sometimes I'm not a big fan of goofy stuff happening in wrestling, and I think it's because sometimes the people doing it don't know how to properly do it. These guys are clearly very experienced, very knowledgeable in what they were doing. I had a great time just giggling at this match, but then also appreciating the just the ring awareness, the smartness, and the experience of both of these men. Should also be noted the little one stirred. At this point, she woke up and was like, "What's going on? What's happening?" Eita also at the end making a big deal about his balls getting rocked, as one would be a little annoyed too. But yeah, fun little match there. So we're going to go on from here to match number 4, which was a women's tag match, which I was 6-woman tag match, featuring the team of Miyuki Takase, Miku Aono, and Megaton. I was not too happy about that, but this match actually was really, really fun. They were taking on the team of the great Sakuya, Takumi Iroha, and Ayame Sora. Now, Sora is, I believe, a Marvelous girl. I think it was Sora was on one side of her gear, Marvelous was on the other. I really liked the combination of styles in this match. You had a very interesting combination of styles and experience in this match, which made for a very, very, very fun time. So let's get into it. The match starts with Megaton getting in the other team's face and Sakuya having none of it and misting her immediately, which obviously upsets her last time tag team partner, Miyuki Takase. So there's a 619 arm drag by Sakuya, followed by a drop kick and a little dance by the great Sakuya on Takase. But Takase does come back right away. Iroha and Aono get in there with a series of reversals before Iroha tags out to Sakuya. Just a random thought. I really, really like the look, just like not even just like the character, but the look of the great Sakuya with the layering of the red tights underneath with the baggier pants over top that are tucked into the boots. There's lots of straps, there's lots of tassels, the face paint. It's such a really cool aesthetic, but then she wrestles so incredibly insanely good. It's just a perfect combination wrestler. So getting back into the match, there is an axe kick by Sakuya on Aono. Sora coming in and is feeding dropkick after dropkick to Aono, but not able to put her down. She is punished by Aono after with a whack load of PKs before she's able to get a dropkick and tag in Iroha. So Iroha levels Aono with her kicks before following up with a beautiful snap suplex. Megaton in with a double shoulder block to Sora and Sakuya. And when Iroha hits the ropes, Takase kicks the champ, allowing Megaton to hit her also with a shoulder block, followed by not one, but 2 Megaton splashes. And I called it a roly-poly-oly because I don't know what else to call it. Megaton did her splash, rolled down on the legs, rolled back, and attempted a pin, but she was able to, Iroha was able to kick out. Sorry. Roly-poly-oly before she gets out of the third splash. There's a third splash attempt, but Megaton gets a high kick for that. So, sword hammer chop strikes by Takase on Iroha before she catches Takase in a Euro clutch setup. And as she's going into the final bit of the Euro clutch, Aono comes in and she turns Aono around and gives her a German suplex hold, pinning both women for two. Incredible champion, incredible move, really, really cool. Springboard moonsault by the great Sakuya on Takase, always really, really nice, smooth, and just picture perfect move by her. Megaton with a top rope body splash, and Takase with a sliding lariat for two on Sakuya. Takase with a second rope double drop kick on Iroha and Sakuya, followed by a spear for two. Um, Finish comes though. Takase gets the great Sakuya up in a fireman's carry, but Sakuya does wiggle out, turns around, and misses Takase, ending the match in a disqualification, which obviously pisses off Takase. She kind of gets the mic, kind of yells at Sakuya as she's walking away. Sakuya not giving a shit and just sitting there doing her little dance as Takase is kind of ranting and raving. I'm hoping to see something come of this, maybe in the Wrestle Magic show. That would be nice. But we're going to wait and see where that kind of announcement happens, whether it's going to be something somewhere else or here. We'll have to wait and see. But that being said, Iroha then takes the mic and she sounds like she challenges Utami Hayashishita from Marigold. But it is answered with a different kind of music, which I recognize, which is the young and passionate and hungry Victoria Yuzuki. Now, I'm very interested to see how this kind of goes. Yuzuki has been doing phenomenal in her stardom and Marigold kind of tenure here, so I'm excited to see how this kind of goes. I'm curious to see if it's also going to be set up at the next at the next show or a different show. If it's going to be Wrestle Magic, we'll have to wait and see what the announcements are. So we're going to go into match number 5, and this is the match that really kind of made me go, "Oh, I'm an idiot." I thought that the person cutting promos was Shun Skywalker. It's just a very similar mask to Taniguchi. Well, I feel sheepish now. Oh well. So Kenta and Taniguchi were in a story match where I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but I sure enjoyed the ride. Kenta very casually dressed for this, kind of in his like sweats, like they're not sweats, but they're sweats. They're men's clothing, if you know, you know. And like just a really cool pair of purple sneakers. Came out with a sippy sippy. I think it's whiskey. Very dark. Look not like he was enjoying taking shots of it. So yeah, Taniguchi, let's get into it here. Taniguchi tossing Kenta around outside, hitting his head on tables and stuff, into the chairs. Kenta trying to do his little sippy sippy mist thing on him, but Taniguchi does cover the mouth and forces him to swallow. Back in the ring, chair shots to Kenta, and then Taniguchi brings in his big stick. I don't know if he is aware of Kenta's obsession with sticks. But he gave Yoshihashi a really good problem when he was in New Japan with that. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So Kenta gets the chair, starts hitting Taniguchi back, which is followed by a tug of war with the stick, which ends up getting reversed onto Kenta, and Kenta does get choked a little bit with it, but he is able to escape. So Kenta reversing a powerbomb attempt into a back body drop on the ramp before feeding kicks to Taniguchi on said ramp. So Kenta starts to get really, really vicious and starts to beat Taniguchi into the back. They go back into the curtains and stuff, and suddenly Kenta emerges with a chain around his neck, and he's being choked out by what commentary described as a giant mummy with dreadlocks. It was terrifying and hilarious at the same time. So chaos kind of ensued for a little bit, but suddenly there was a flying Keno coming through the backstage area to come help his friend in Hawaiian print board shorts and yellow flip-flops, which I think was one of the funniest things I saw all night. Oh, what was even funnier is that he actually started like really full on wrestling, feeding him strikes, feeding him kicks. At one point, he's up in the corner feeding strikes, and I'm like, how is he not broken a flip flop, let alone lost one? I can't even sit stationary in a chair without losing a slipper because of my klutzy ass. This man just full on did freaking martial arts without losing a flip. I'm just clearly not talented. But yeah, strikes in the corner, Kano ducking the powder. So the mummy has powder in his pocket. Kano is being held by Taniguchi. The mummy pulls out the powder, goes to throw it into Kano's face. Kano ducks, and Taniguchi gets all of the powder, which is interesting because he has like the eyes are covered. Anyway, it's followed up by Kenta misting with I assume the sippy sippy, the whiskey, and he pulls him into a cradle for the win. Fun, goofy little match. It really got to show the goofy personality of Kenta, and the thing that I love about Kenta the most is he is that perfect combination of serious and goofy. He can be serious, he can be goofy, he can be everything in between. And this was that match. That was a kind of a, hey, just so you know, yeah, I kick the crap out of people, but I can also have fun and be choked out by a mummy. The Kens proceed to cut a promo in the ring and set up something for Wrestle Magic. Not entirely sure again because I don't speak Japanese yet. Working on it. But hopefully we'll start to see some announcements coming out soon, as it is the 24th right now. And the show is going to be coming out in about 6 days, so a little under a week now. So let's see what's coming in with that. So the next match and the final match, I'm going through this one quick. I missed something. I did miss something in between the second match there, but we will talk about it after because that is very importante. So, final match here, match 6. And this was the fun match that I have to talk to you guys about. This was an international match for the ages, left the crowd in awe. So, this match was a 8-man tag match featuring Robert Martyr, Danny Duggan, Fancy Ryan Clancy, and Ulka Sasaki taking on the team of Kaito Kiyomiya, Dragon Bane, Titus Alexander, and Archie Cole. So immediately I'm excited. This is going to be an absolutely incredible match, we know. Trying to get my notes set up here so I'm not blasted out. Okay, we're just going to deal with it. So immediately I'm excited. Great combination of styles, great combination of people, all very experienced, all very knowledgeable. I'm so stoked for this match. So the crowd chanting for all of the countries before everyone kind of got into the match, it really kind of warmed my heart. It was nice to see the wrestling community come together in this, especially given the times. It was just like a nice little heartwarming moment. So Ulka Sasaki and Alexander starting off with some chain wrestling. At one point, Sasaki just casually walking off after releasing the hands, and Alexander kind of hamming it up a little bit. I love how he hams up with people in there. It really adds some character to him, and then also gets the crowd really fired up, and the crowd is very much behind him. So we got Cole and Sasaki in now, exchanging strikes, which I was like a little afraid of, but then Cole hitting a really good high kick on Sasaki, knocking him down. Dragonbane in with a big jump in, and Martyr like playing like he's gonna do the same thing. Yeah, and then steps in like, no. I do what I want. Love that little exchange there. So Martyr and Dragonbane, shoulder block by Martyr, but Dragonbane kept up, and that became the story here. Everything that Martyr did, Bane flipped up or kipped up. He flipped through or kipped through. It was amazing to see. Ends with Martyr kipping up and eating a drop kick from Dragonbane, though, which was still pretty cool. Kiyomiya and Duggan in now with a great back and forth exchange. Clancy comes in to do a double team, double arm wrench on Kiyomiya, each serving Kiyomiya European uppercuts after, and then doing a double underhook tag team suplex. That could have been rearranged better. Tag team double underhook suplex. There you go. On Kiyomiya for 2. Kiyomiya comes back with arm drags and dragon screws for everyone, plus a big body press on Clancy. Cole in with thrust kicks on both Duggan and Clancy, and a redirection on Duggan in the corner, causing him to hit Clancy in the face, followed up by a big crossbody to both of them. Sasaki is in and catches Alexander with an arm bar, but he's able to reverse it in what I thought he was going to try a power bomb or a slam, a one-ended power bomb slam of some kind. But Sasaki, when he's pulled up, reverses into an abdominal stretch. Kiyomiya then comes in and tries to break it up. However, Duggan comes in and stops him. Clancy grabs Dragonbane, and they are all in submissions in the middle of the ring, which is broken up by Cole when he comes in and just starts kicking everyone. Duggan gets an abdominal stretch on Cole on the ropes, and Clancy is able to do a high dive over top of him. There is a jumping brainbuster by Duggan on Cole for 2 that looked really, really cool. We got Dragonbane and Kiyomiya with vaulting body presses to the outside, followed by Alexander, who yeets Cole onto everybody before following up with a tope con hilo himself. These guys were just going. The crowd was on fire for this match. It was so good. So the guys run the train on Clancy in the corner, followed by a quadruple drop kick for 2. So we're going to start heading towards the ending here. So Clancy flips through the big ugly initially, and then quickly hits a standing swanton bomb, followed by a Russian leg sweep and a double underhook suplex for 2 on Alexander. However, he is unable to flip through the next big ugly. Alexander hits it and gets him for the win, bringing the show to an amazing close. This was such an incredible match. Such an incredible match. Just the experience, as I mentioned at the beginning, the experience of everybody, the knowledge they all had, the ability to entertain. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do and how to do it. There was no hanging around. There was no sitting there on the apron watching things and watching pinfalls happen without interrupting them. They weren't sitting there waiting for dives. Everybody knew their place. And it made for such a naturally just beautiful, organic end of the match. After which, Nozawa comes out, bringing flags and allowing for some incredible, just beautiful visuals and pictures and chanting from the crowd of all the countries involved in the match. It was such a beautiful moment that just made me go, this is what wrestling is supposed to be. This is what wrestling is supposed to be for everyone, and it's supposed to be welcoming and just a happy little thing. So that was the way we kind of ended the show. So real quick, I'm going to go into the thing that I forgot to mention, and I don't know why I forgot to mention it, because it's literally my favorite wrestler in this company. Let's adjust and focus here. Okay, so this happened in between the second and third match, I believe. Yes, it happened after the Wrestle Magic announcement. We saw Nozawa come out, and he comes out, he's cutting a bit of a promo, and soon he is interrupted by the sound of another music that I didn't recognize, and then I recognized the person, and it was Shuji Ishikawa, the hardcore champion, coming out, and based I could understand from the conversation, it looks like he challenged Nozawa to face him for the GHC Open Hardcore Championship, I think is what it's called. Nozawa does not have the chance to answer. He raises the mic to his mouth, and some very familiar music hits, and I get very, very excited, and I squee, because it is none other than the Dark One himself, Hayata. Hayata comes out to challenge Ishikawa for the Hardcore Championship, and I believe that match has been announced for Wrestle Magic. I'm excited because this is the second challenge that Hayata has made in the last week. We have seen him challenge his tag partner Yohei for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now we're seeing him challenge for the Hardcore Championship. And something I love about the Noah Hardcore Championship matches, based on the 2 hardcore matches that I have seen in Pro Wrestling Noah, is that they're not grotesque. And I think that's what I like about them the most. They're an actual match that shows off the wrestlers and their ability to randomly use certain weapons. But the match that I saw last with Ishikawa versus Manbu Soya was a tremendous match and had a lot of weapons, but it didn't have any grotesqueness to it. That being said, if you know Ishikawa, you know he can go crazy if he needs to. But I don't suspect that this is going to be something that's going to be like Jun Kasai light tubes and blades embedded in a board kind of thing. I feel like this is going to be chair shots. I feel like this is going to be kendo sticks. I feel like this is going to be ladders, tables, chairs. Oh my, it's going to be great. I'm excited. I'm calling for Hayata 2 belts. Double champ Hayata for the summer. That would make me happy. That would make me very happy. So, that all being said, that brings us to the end of the episode, you guys. I got through it as quickly as possible so I don't go too long and keep you guys here. What do you guys think? Did you guys get to watch the final show at all? Did you guys get to watch the GHC National Championship match? What did you guys think? What do you think about Galeno? I love seeing Galeno as the champion. He's doing such a good job, and he's taking the championship all around the world already. That's what you want to see out of a national champion. And then he's coming back, and not even terribly. He didn't take a terribly long vacation, if you will. It wasn't really a vacation, it was working. But he didn't take a long stay away from Japan. He came back pretty quickly. I believe he was only gone a month. So I like to see that. I like to see a champion returning and defending the championship, but before they defend it even more. What do you guys think about Hayata challenging for the Hardcore Championship? Do we foresee a Hayata 2 belts for the summer? I would like to see that. But he's also my favorite wrestler in the company, so of course I would like to see that. What did you guys think about the main event? Seeing the guys like Titus Alexander, Robert Martyr, Fancy Clancy, Danny Duggan, Archie Cole, all these guys, Dragon Bane, Kaito, Ulka Sasaki, all these guys just integrating. What did you guys think about that? It was such a fun ride for me and just made my heart very, very happy. So yeah, what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments down below. With that being said, let's get out of here. So if you're interested in watching Pro Wrestling Noah, I will leave a link in the description box below for Wrestle Universe down there. You can also check out their YouTube channel, which I will also leave linked down below to get any extra content if you understand Japanese. I still like watching them. I don't understand what's going on, but I still like watching them. What else? What else? Oh, for the price for Wrestle Universe, it's 1,298 yen, or approximately 13 Canadian, depending on where our dollar is at that time. Still an amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling, because you don't just get access to Pro Wrestling Noah, you get access to DDT, you get access to Marigold, you get access to Tokyo Joshi Pro, and many more. So definitely check it out. It's worth the price, and you get so much wrestling out of it. So that all being said, make sure you follow OLE on all their socials and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted every time that we drop a new video. If you want a daily dose of Melball, you can find me on the X thing at Collins Melball, and you can find me on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. What an episode. This was so much fun to talk about. I hope you guys had a good time. I am Melball Collins. Matane.